everybody. How is it going? Let me get my music on. Because ever since a little bit, Miss Ebony, and tell them about your company. That's so awesome.
So first off, I'm excited to be here. The internet is working exceptionally great right now, so
yes, y'all. We're so happy about that.
Yeah. Okay, so I am a mother of 4. I am a birth doula, and I'm the founder of Wombase, as you mentioned. So Wombase is a database.
Oh, what happened?
To early parenthood. As well, who are along that spectrum to, share space and advice and just camaraderie, and as well as like education and classes and stuff from those professionals who are part of the database.
I love it. I love it. It looks like you bridging the gap too. Yes, I think it's very important for healthcare workers and parents to especially mothers and women to have that conversation and know about some of the important things about their bodies and their health for their children. Are you breaking up? Are we breaking up, y'all? No, don't leave. Can y'all see us? She'll come back in, y'all. But I do believe what she's doing is beautiful, and I love it. I love it. So just to let y'all know, we've been communicating because she is in the Caribbean, and some of the issues are with the internet. So we've been working on that behind the scenes. Hello, everyone. Hello. So we're just gonna get her back up in here because it was working beautifully. Just a few minutes ago. Yes. Hey, you guys. Hey, yeah. How you doing, sir? How you doing? I hope I said it. I hope I said it right. First and foremost, before I continue, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I know it's been tripping all week, but can you hear me though? Because if we have to do this later, we will, because this is very important. I want all my parents to hear about her company because it's very special, and I love what she's doing, especially for mothers out there. So can you hear me, Manuel? Yes. There we go. She's back. So she's coming back in, you guys. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello. Yes.
I'm back.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much of me speaking you got, but
wait, you was towards the end of telling us about the healthcare workers and mothers uniting, if you could pick up from there.
Yes. So I was just talking about the other aspect of Wombase, apart from the database, is the parenting community of parents who are as well a part of that spectrum from preconception all the way to early parenthood. And there are events, workshops from the professionals who are part of the database. And just that like sense of a village and camaraderie and, sharing advice and tips and those kinds of things.
I love it. I love that you got a parent community as well, baby. Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I think it's very important. I work, I work in early childhood education, and I see and have to talk to new mothers often, even new fathers, and they're so nervous, right? Jittery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of first time concerns, of course. Even when I was going to the hospital when my little sister was having her first children, she was just so nervous, even about something like breastfeeding,
Yes.
So what you're doing is awesome, because she felt like she didn't have enough time in a hospital.
Yeah.
And she was getting frustrated, and her emotions was all over everywhere, and it was just a lot going on, especially for people who have children who are premature. It could be a lot, and so to have like a partner or a mentor or anybody that you could talk to outside of the hospital, because once they let you out, you're out, right? To have that outside, I think that's wonderful, and I think that's really great that you have a company that is doing that for mothers. So I love it. Tell us a little bit more about that process.
So I definitely think, a huge part of what we're missing today in that transition from being pregnant, giving birth, and then having a baby is like support. We don't have support. We don't have like a village per se, like our ancestors did like back in the days and stuff like that, right? But those were like the natural ways of doing things, and those were the ways that like both babies and mothers were able to like thrive because they had support, right?
Yes.
And I feel like in this day and age, it's almost like when you get into that stage, like what you were saying, where you're a new parent, and sometimes even the smallest thing, you're like, oh my gosh, like what do I do? Like this is so bad, but just having that reassurance.
Yes.
But what I was gonna say is sometimes we don't know the help that we need. Like sometimes we know that we need help, but we don't necessarily know, okay, this person is going to be able to help me with this, or that person is good for this. So that's why I thought Wombase, because it's like a one-stop shop. Like you could just go there, you need something, and you can go there and you could find what you need. Like you might think you need, let's say, like you might think you need a therapist or something like that, and really you just need somebody to check that maybe
just
you're
check
doing
on
something
you,
in a different way that, sorry?
I said, like, check on you, make sure you're okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I just think it's good to have options, and it's good for it not to be so stressful. Like what do you Google if you don't know what help you need, right? So
right. I think it also, what you're trying to do, it could kind of lower the postpartum depression stage as well, because of that help that you're saying. Like you have that helping hand there. I've talked to mothers before where they were just frustrated, like you said, and it's because they're tired. They can't get no sleep. They can't eat. They're getting cranky. They don't want to be too frustrated because it could affect the baby, but it's kind of like they're losing their sanity, and then they go into this depression stage because they feel like they have no one to help them. They feel like they have no one to talk to, or something as simple as being given a break for a nap, stuff like that. So what you're saying is absolutely true. And if you continue to build upon that community, like that village, our ancestors having that camaraderie and working together is very is a reason why, right? It shows that it's a reason why, because
For sure.
like we say all the time, it takes a village to raise a child, but it
Yep.
also helps us lean on one another.
For sure. I always say, like, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to raise a mother, because it's like a lot of times when in those first days and maybe even weeks, like as family members from the outside looking in, you're always like, oh my gosh, a cute new baby, let's go and like save the baby and see the baby and smell the baby and give the baby gifts. And it's like a lot of times the mother gets kind of like pushed to the wayside. And we're not easily as inclined to I guess fill her needs, you know. So like, yeah, like what you're saying about postpartum depression is, it's very real. Even if it doesn't get to the point of being like full-fledged like postpartum depression, like that stage is just hugely sensitive and hugely like we in general, whether you have depression or not, like we need support. And like my dream is that, you know, like for Black people specifically, we get to a point where it is odd for us to think of like a new mother not having support. Like we'd be like, what? Like it would be just ridiculous for us to even like think of a new mother not having the support, or new family, young family, or even an older family not having what they need. Like that's my vision.
Yes, I think that's a great vision to have, and it's a goal that we should have just in general with supporting one another in general. You know, we are lacking that sense of unity tremendously in all aspects, and that's something that we have to get back to. I love that quote. It takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to raise a mother.
That's
and
real.
You know that a lot of times in our communities, our families are broken, and that's another reason why it is so hard for mothers, you know.
100.
And a lot of them just like, we don't know what we don't know. Everything could be new, and things are ever changing. And if you're not grown through the process, it could be a lot. It could frustrate you tremendously. So I definitely love that quote. Is that girl? Had to use that.
TM.
So tell me, the two components. You have the parent. You have the healthcare workers.
Yes.
Then you have classes in a community.
Yes, that's the ideal. So like I was telling you before, like Wombase is definitely still a baby. We're still beta testing many different like systems and like ways of doing things. But yes, ideally, at this point in time anyways, it is the database. So you can literally go into the database. You can either search by, okay, if you need a midwife or if you need a yoga therapist, you can just type that in. And one thing I really like about it is, like, in this day and age where everything is more and more virtual, there are there's a map where you could see the professionals in your area, and there are also but by searching the name, you would be able to see other professionals who do that and would offer like virtual support in that way. So I like that. And then with the parenting group, it is going to be an actual group where there's discussions and dialogue and things like that. And then twice a week, there's going to be some of the professionals would be chiming in on the conversations and the round table circles and stuff like that, and giving their like professional input to questions and concerns and things that like maybe you might have to pay to have a consultation with them in other areas. So that like I'm really, really excited to have it all unfold.
Yes, I'm excited for you.
And if this is something that you're interested in, please like click the link in our bio and sign up. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a professional, even if there are like if you have sister friends or friends or anything like that who are on that road to either conceiving, having a baby, about to have a baby, or early parenthood, sign up. We're giving away a free ebook right now, so that's a good thing to cop. It's full
I
of
love
good
it.
information, and yeah, I'm really excited to see it all unfold.
I have a question. So for your
Yes, ma'am.
parent group, is it a private group or do you have a Facebook group? Is it something that they have to sign up through your website? How does that work?
So basically, when you do sign up through the website, the perk that you get with your subscription is access to the private Facebook group. So it is a
Okay.
Facebook group and it is private.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you also get the
Somebody calling.
like all the classes and stuff. All the sorry. Oh yeah, all the classes and stuff that come with the membership would be free with your membership as well.
Okay, I like it. I like it. And then you said you have classes. So is the classes something separate as well?
No, it's included.
It's included.
It's included and it's based upon like a need basis. Like if it's a topic that you're interested in or that you need more information on, you participate. If not, there's like no pressure. You kind of like do what you need and take what you need from the community. And sorry, what was the question?
For the classes that you have for the parents, I was just asking if it was something separate. Like I have parent educational classes as well.
Yes,
and I do consultation. So it sometimes it's separate depending on how it is. And then sometimes it's just on here. So I was trying to get them to understand how they could access those classes if they needed more information or needed more help. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. So part of the membership is full, complete access to all of our classes, all of our workshops, meetings as well, as part of your membership. And otherwise, if there is like a professional that does like, say, for example, like a birth class or a breastfeeding class, that in that case would be separate. That would be through the professional's profile.
Awesome. Yes,
okay.
And so you say new mothers or women who want to get pregnant,
yes,
or is planning up into early parenthood. Did I say that correctly? What does early parenthood mean?
So we consider that like 5 and under, just early parenthood, like getting into the swing of things, like learning your green kind of, you know. Yeah, because it's more so Wombase is more so to help through the transitions. You know what I mean? I feel like when I was thinking about that part of it, I was thinking like as a young mother myself, having 4 children under 9, I know how overwhelming it can be. I know how much of a difference it takes to have like a support system, even if it is online, even if it is people that you can just check in real quickly with. So I definitely wanted to put more attention to that aspect of it, because I feel like, you know, as your children grow and you kind of get the hang of things, you not to say it's easy, it like all the difficulties go away, but I just feel like you're more seasoned, so that support isn't as integral. And I'm saying that like you still need support, like hear what I'm saying, like you still need support.
I completely understand.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you know the reason I'm asking for that, because you know that's my area right there, the early childhood education and child development, and it's very critical and important to me because it's a foundational base for our children. Very foundational. So you were saying that anybody who wanted to help or be a part of the community, whether a mother or a healthcare worker, do y'all do things with teachers or educators in that field?
No, but I'm open to it. Like, you know, if like the way I see it is like what I was saying about like having a need and not knowing what you need. Like if whatever a mom needs, how I see it, whatever a mom needs, like let's find what she needs. Like if she needs a teacher, let's find her a teacher. Like if she's overwhelmed with baby and maybe she's homeschooling and she needs help with this one over here and a teacher's gonna help her, let's do what we need to do to connect them. That's how I see it.
Build that village. I love it.
Sure.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to talk more too, because I didn't know that your Wombase community had the early education part in it as well. And I would
we will make space for you, Sister Mika.
Yes, I would love to help with that. You know, I'm
yes,
all
ma'am.
about that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had another question. If you guys have questions in the audience, please feel free to put it down. Hey, y'all. Write it down in the comments for her, because we will be answering questions as well. Yeah. I had another question, and it totally went out. How do
can I ask you a question? Okay. So for your early education, what age do you go up to? Like what?
So I have my associates in child development. I am, with that certification or that background, I could go up to second grade, like on paper, but I do have experience working with children all the way up to high school. But that foundational sense, that's where my degree cuts off at second grade. So yeah.
The foundation is very important.
The foundation is the most important, girl.
Definitely.
You get them while they're young. I really do believe in that wholeheartedly, because I've worked with so many students in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 3rd grade, didn't know basics like ABC sounds, ABC recognition. They can't read, they can't count, you know, they can't write, and that's not. It breaks my heart, because I teach a 2-year-old this, you know. We start from birth, you know, 6 weeks on up. That's what we do. We're molding that conscious development, fine motor development, gross motor development, you know, social and emotional development, all of these aspects. The first 6 years are key to developing the subconscious mind. Absolutely. Critical thinking skills, all of those things. Without the foundation, you can't build for or go up with your plan. Absolutely. It's very important. And I love that the brothers is on here. Y'all gone, brothers. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all just made me, you made me proud. So for healthcare workers or anybody who wants to partner with you to help you build your community and grow these partnerships, so that everyone could work together to be a support system for new mothers, how do they get in contact with you, and what's that process?
Okay, so the link in our bio will bring you straight to the website, where you could download the ebook if you would like, and you could actually, there's a section for parents and a section for professionals, and you could sign up to either. And yeah, if you're interested in like reaching out to me personally, you could DM me either on here on Wombase, or on my personal account, which is at EbboniX, EBBONIX. And yeah, I'm open to building, because I really feel like what you're saying, you know, there's so many needs in our communities, and now more than ever we're learning that like we need to be there to fill the needs. So yeah, so I'm definitely like open to you know, even like what you mentioned, like with the education, like I'm open to that, you know, if it's needed. Definitely.
Look at G-Man 4981 on here spitting that talk. That's what I'm talking about. It's called support and love, because y'all women are the backbone of a man's foundation. You better talk, boy. You better preach. I love it. You know, the reason why I'm so excited and happy for you men to be speaking up in early childhood education, I'm really big on that, because what I see in child cares in our communities, especially our communities, is this button heads between women and men, right? And I'm always encouraging my fathers to be a part of their child's life, right? And y'all don't understand, when these children are in school, how much they talk about their parents, how much they love y'all, how much everything that you do matters. And I'm telling y'all, when those father figures are not around, and then they just pop up, it makes their day. But when y'all leave, it just, they deflate from it, right? So I'm always encouraging that involvement. So even supporting your woman and doing all these things in pregnancy, you know, the planning stage, all of that is very important. So to see you brothers on here talking, right, and putting your input in, we heading in the right direction, baby. I love it. I love it. Let's keep it going, you know, because we need to change that for ourselves and for our community. So I love it. I love every bit of it. Matter of fact, how can the men get more involved in your program? Is there something in it for them as well? Because the natural thought process would be this is a women's thing, you know, we get pregnant, we do all this stuff, but how could men be involved too, or is there a way?
Okay, so when it comes to Wombase itself, it's open. Like if a man wants to join, but it's definitely geared towards females, mothers. So yeah, it's definitely geared towards mothers and females, but the father definitely plays a huge role in the whole spectrum from conception, pregnancy, postpartum. Like as a doula, I would definitely, like when I meet you know, a couple or even like partners or whatever, I definitely encourage the father to be empowered, because I feel like men a lot of times kind of just like shrink to the background, like they don't want to like say too much or do too much, but like she needs your support. So I try to like encourage them to be there and to like let her know that, you know, you're there, even if you don't get it perfectly right the first time, that you're there to like listen to what she needs. And yeah, just really that, like, just like you said, like the men like stepping up and just showing that they're available, because for a long time, you know, in our communities, there's been that divide that like, okay, we're against each other and we're not helping each other. So yeah, we definitely have to work as a team when it comes to pregnancy, giving birth, and parenthood.
Okay, Daniel, I hear you talk about pay for our women through the program, then support, what you say, then support their efforts, implement what she gets from the program. That you better preach, Daniel. You need to come on all my lives preaching. Yes, I think that's a great way. Even hearing you talk, Miss Ebony, Sister Ebony, and then hearing that from Daniel, it's this I follow, what's his name? What is that man's name? DeVal. I follow him and his wife. Okay. I just love them. They just so cute, right? Yes. I just love them. And so she's pregnant right now. And I think her last pregnancy, she had a doula, or she did a in-home birth. And now this is their fourth child coming. And they were doing some exercises, because I think she was doing it again at home. Okay. And they were doing some exercise where he had to lift her up with his feet, and through the process, I'm gonna send you the video. I'm gonna send you the video so you can see it. Now I'm curious. Yeah, so it's some exercise he was doing, but that was support. I love seeing it. And then he was just telling us, like, it was the man telling us why he had to do what it was he was doing for her. And I just love seeing that. I'm gonna have to send you that video so you could share it out to your people, your community as well, because I think that was an excellent visual of support, and how you, even though she's pregnant, you know too what's going on, and the language and the terms and why it's needed. Man, I was like, you go, boy. You go, boy. So, like, y'all up in here, you go, boys. You go. Yo, man. So, yes. Do you guys have any questions?
I'm reading the comments.
You reading the comments? Society and the government wants to divide us from Black men being in their kids' and their mother's life during any stage in their life. Our job is to give our women the world. They need to be the best versions of themselves.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
Create the environment to allow them to do what's necessary to develop the children into God's unbeatable by this world systems of things. You brothers better. I can't bump heads with a woman, but during that womb stage, you can have to be there for her, hand and foot. Y'all brothers better come in here preaching, boy. Yeah, y'all better come in here preaching.
I'm confident. I'm confident.
Yes. Do y'all have any? Do y'all have any more? Do y'all have any questions? I'm trying to think. Y'all getting me excited now. I really do love what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that you came on here to talk to my audience.
Yes, because thank you for having me.
Yes, because we all need it, you know. And sure. I'm about parent education, teacher education, small business development, and raising the standards and value. And look, your thing is hitting on all those key jewels. It's hitting on all of those same things, and I just love it. And doing this, right? This is how we raise our standards and values for our communities. This is how we pour into our children more. This is how we fill that gap, you know, that's inhibiting us, because that's what it does. It inhibits us from pouring into our children the correct way. So I appreciate and respect everything that you do. This is very much needed. And I can tell you now, I've met so many first-time mothers working in early childhood education that could use a program like this. Like, we give them some tips and things like that. We could give them some educational pieces and some of the things that we know about the importance of breastfeeding, how to properly hold a child, the importance of talking and communicating with your children, even as in infancy. Like, we could give all of those things, and I could go on. But that healthcare part, right? You putting that in there, you know?
Yeah.
It's very important. I was on one of your lives one day when you had a doctor who was on there, and she was talking about some of the things that goes on behind the scenes in a hospital.
Yeah.
And that's key. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be aware of that. That's a lot of things that I talk about, what goes on behind the scenes in the school, right? Because the more you know, the more you're aware, and the more you could be prepared and also speak the language that is needed so that they can't get over on you. Exactly. And some of the things that I learned from watching, you know, from watching her and listening to that, I mean, I'm not surprised whatsoever, because, you know, I've been in the hospital a lot myself, sickly. But it's frustrating to hear some of the things that pregnant women, especially Black women, go through in the hospital.
As a doula, some of the things, like, even like knowing what I know, some of the things that I hear are just horrific.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
And this was
but it also, like, it gives me like motivation, like, it gives me like a burning desire to make it different. You know what I mean? Like, to do something different, even in the smallest way. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I completely understand. And like I said, like, people say, oh, that don't help, oh, that don't happen, or this don't happen. That was a healthcare worker. She was a nurse. She had worked in the field. She was saying we can't keep writing people off when they telling you these things and act like, oh, that it just don't happen. No, these things happen, and it could affect you tremendously. And
100%.
I was just like, oh my goodness. So I see the value in everything that you do, and I appreciate you bringing these, and I appreciate the healthcare workers who come on your platform and they talk. You know, they open up, because sometimes it's not easy to tell the truth or say the hard things that people don't, you know, want to hear. But we need to hear those
aren't the kind of professionals we want.
Right. We want the people who gonna keep it 100 and tell you what you need to hear, no matter how much it hurts, because it's gonna help you in the long run. So I definitely appreciate it. Again,
thank you so much.
Follow her at Wombase.inc. Y'all, when I finish with this video, I'm gonna post it I'm gonna tag her on everything. follow her. Get your fellas, get your wives, get them to follow, especially if you about to have some more babies. Get everybody to follow. And then you can also follow her personal page at Ebony X on here on Instagram. Make sure y'all tune in and follow me, Miss J, every day. And if you guys don't have any questions, did she leave us? And I'm gonna go through just to make sure that we don't have any more questions. Peace and love, queens. Very grateful for your presence. I am a post-childhood parent who's in the corrective stages of parenting my children, while your focus is on the first stages of development. Becoming your best. Hello. Yes. She has a parenting community. Go check out her website. I didn't get her website, so y'all definitely gonna have to go to her Instagram, follow her, click the link in her bio. What she's doing is most definitely raising the standards and values of our communities. It's definitely giving you parent education. She's teaching children as well. Well, not teaching children, she's teaching parents as well. So she's hitting on them parent education facts, and then helping you become, y'all know my motto, parents are the children's first teacher. And she even has a community for that, with helping the parents in their early childhood and child development stages for their children, you know. So mom, that support system with Wombase is there. I believe it's a wonderful thing to have. Tap in with the good sis, y'all, because she is doing great things, and we need to expand this. We need to make it bigger. It does take a village to raise a child, and what she say, it take a village to raise a mom too. I love it. It's beautiful. So I hope this was beneficial for everybody. If you all have any questions, please tap in with me at a later time. You can hit her up on her page. I am having my free parent education classes on Monday, tomorrow. It's at Wombase.inc. I'm going to post it up when I finish. I'm also having my free parent education class tomorrow, October 11th at 6 p.m., where we will be addressing concerns about this COVID vaccine that's coming out there for children 5 to 12 in the school systems. And then I'm also adding, if you don't have that capability, because parents have been wanting to come to me and pull their child, talk about what they should do if they're going to pull their child out of school, how to start their process of homeschooling. So we've been talking about that. But if you don't have that luxury of doing that as well, you can, I'm going to give you some tips on how to address the school and what questions and things to ask, because you need to be aware. So thank all of y'all for coming out. Tap in. Make sure you go follow at Ebony X and at Wombase.inc. And tap into her community, y'all. It's very beautiful. Thank y'all for coming out to this Droppin' Gems live. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great